Oh, apparently I just spent a while talking to a camera that had nothing recording. Good morning, girls. It's Friday. I mean Thursday. I mean Tuesday. Oh my god, this is terrible. Okay. It's a bad brain day. I had physical therapy today and my head was already irritated and it just kind of aggravated it, so bear with me. This week's theme is things we're nostalgic about, and it was originally, there was another video that I linked to that had like questions about things they were nostalgic about, but they privatized the video and I don't know what the questions were, and I just don't feel well enough to go through and try and find videos that have appropriate questions to try and figure out. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to show things from around my room. Hold on, I need to wipe my face. I got sweat in my eye. I got sweat in my bloody eye. Yeah, this is just off to a great start, isn't it? Oh my goodness. So I just kind of grabbed some random things from around my room. Just show you what I'm nostalgic about. We'll start with the TV shows. DuckTales, woo! Every day they're out there making DuckTales. I remembered more of the song the first time, but yeah. Okay, I think I need to turn off that fan that's behind the video. Yeah. Oh gosh. It's blowing right in my eyes and it's making the sweat drip. Oh, that feels a little better. Okay. Anyways, DuckTales I used to love. We didn't get it on the channels that I had at home, but whenever I was at Grandma and Papa's house, I'd always watch DuckTales. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I owned volume 1 and 2 because I loved it so much. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Chippendale Rescue Ranger. Chippendale when there's danger. Yeah. I used to watch Rescue Rangers all the freaking time, so I think I only have one Rescue Ranger DVD. And I have a Tailspin DVD. I mean, whenever I watch those, it kind of brings back my childhood. There's a few other things that I really want to get that are TV shows I'm nostalgic about. One is the 80s and 90s versions of My Little Pony, because I enjoy them much more than the current version of My Little Pony. Not that the current version's terrible, it's just I find the characters more shallow and annoying than the older versions. And yeah, so I just really want the older versions. The same thing, I'd like the 80s version of the Care Bears, because that's the Care Bears that I really liked. And there was this show called like Pirates of the Dark Water or something like that. I didn't watch it that often, but when I did happen to catch it on, I always loved it. It had this like adorable little monkey or something in it. I remember I really liked it, so I wanted to get that too. But yeah, those are little cartoons and stuff I'm really nostalgic about. Of course, there's a lot of like 90s Nickelodeon cartoons and stuff, because I liked the Disney Channel shows more than the Nickelodeon shows, but we didn't have Disney Channel. We had Nickelodeon, so I watched a lot of Rugrats and Dugs and those things, because that's the channel that we had. It's not that I didn't enjoy them, I just enjoyed the Disney Channel ones more. That makes sense, but they all just bring me back there. Movie-wise, the things that kind of make me the most nostalgic, one is Fly Away Home. I think that's it. I did not grab it, I didn't think about it. That one I used to watch a lot with my mom, so whenever I watch it, I feel like my mom's in the room with me and we're like having a nice moment, because that was some of our happy memories. Same thing with October Sky. You guys probably associate it with Richio, because I'm pretty sure Richio used to play it a lot. But I used to watch it with my grandma a lot, and so I associate October Sky with her. Polly, they used to play Polly, Polly Comes Home, and Pollyanna on Triple Feature Friday, which I don't know if you guys remember Triple Feature Friday. But yeah, I loved the black version much more than Pollyanna. So I have Polly and Polly Comes Home, and that makes me happy. The originals of Parent Trap and Freaky Friday. Parent Trap, the originals are really great, although I like the remake too. Freaky Friday, I just really don't like the actress that they played to play the main character. And I just kind of enjoyed the plot line in the original Freaky Friday, although the pacing sucked. But the nostalgia keeps me watching. Books-wise, Animorphs, I got into it when I was pretty young, like 4th or 5th grade, and so whenever I read it, it just kind of reminds me of my childhood. And it was my first real thing that I was obsessed with, was Animorphs. That was my first nerdy obsession. So I'm always going to be nostalgic about Animorphs. Into the Land of the Unicorns was the first book series that I really read, like quartet type series. And it's also part of the reason why I avoided books that were in quartets or certain numbers for a long time, because there were years and years and years between books on this. It took him like 2 decades to finish the Unicorn Chronicles, and I just hated waiting so many years between books. But when I finally read the last book, I was amazed at how he tied together stuff from the beginning of the series into like things that you find out in the first book end up tying into the last book, and it all blends together beautifully. I just love it. Bruce Coville is awesome, and he also gave me a handwritten letter once. Time Windows. I don't talk about it very often, but it's this really cool book about, she looks into the dollhouse and she's like viewing scenes from the past, and there's like this ghost involved, and it is really freaking awesome. It doesn't take too long to read because the writing's really big, but even though I haven't read it in years, but every time I read it, it's like reading it for the first time almost. I just love it. When was it published? 1991, so yeah. Silver Wing is another book series that I get like totally geeked out over. It's also the reason why I love bats, is because of Silver Wing, because the main character, it's about a couple bats, and the main character is just this little adorable scrawny bat, and yeah. And as an avid reader, of course, I was a huge fan of the TV show that promoted reading, Wishbone. Yeah, that's why my little stuffed dog I have is named Wishbone. I loved his character. It was a freaking talking dog. Well, you heard his thoughts, but it was kind of like a talking dog. And he acted out stories. I mean, he was freaking awesome. I don't know if they have a Wishbone series on DVDs, like to buy a whole season or whatever, but I would totally buy that because I loved Wishbone. And then the other 2 things I grabbed in here, of course, I always get nostalgic about the Disney parks. Disneyland, because that's kind of where my love of the Disney parks started, was my family taking me to Disneyland growing up. I remember one time in the 90s, it was fairly soon after Lion King came out, and they had like this Lion King parade, and I remember sitting near Small World and watching it. Yeah. And then, of course, anything Walt Disney World makes me totally nostalgic and kind of heartbreaking because of the year that I lived down there. I just love all my memories. Not that I don't love my high school memories and stuff with you girls, but you really miss the best of me. I was the best person I've ever been in my life when I was at Disney World. And I was productive, and I lived every day to the fullest, and my social life was really awesome. I really had barely any complaints. I mean, sometimes my complaints were more like being overworked and tired and things like that, but overall, I loved my job, and I loved what I did when I wasn't working, and I had everything that I needed in life, and it was pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, I miss that, and I wish that I could be like that again, but obviously when you get sick, things happen, and you can no longer be the person you used to be. You just kind of gotta move on. And Stitch makes me nostalgic because it reminds me of my friend Andy at Disney World. In fact, this Stitch was given to me by Stitch. He gave it to me for my birthday because it was his nickname, so he gave me a Stitch stuffed animal. I thought that was kind of adorable. Anyways, yeah, I've rambled for a while, and there's plenty other things that I get nerdy and nostalgic about. A lot of them having to do with you guys, like atmosphere and playing like that Disney charades. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. We used to play that all the time. Yeah, like any of those little board games that we used to play at our sleepovers always makes me think of our time together. And part of the reason that I sold my karaoke games is because every time I tried to play them, it was like somebody was ripping out my heart, because I always used to play that with all my friends after school and on the weekend, and playing it by myself, I couldn't help but remember what it used to be like, and playing it by myself just intensified the loneliness. And so I just sold the games because I just couldn't handle it. I might buy some new like Disney karaoke games or something that I have not played with my friends. I think I could handle, but I had too many memories with those Karaoke Revolutions games, and it kind of hurt not having my friends to play them with anymore. And it wasn't like I liked the music on them that much. For the most part, they were all songs that I just didn't know and didn't really give a crap about. It was always about the time I spent with my friends. So sometimes nostalgia hurts. Sometimes nostalgia's good, and sometimes it's kind of too painful to handle. Anyways, I love you guys. I will film Spunky, who's kind of sleeping in the corner over here, while I try and find the record button. Hi, monkey. What you doing? You being a good boy? Yeah? Did you puff up Mommy's blankets after she got them all nice and straightened up for the video? Yes, you did.